City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. A new government healthy eating and anti-obesity initiative will be rolled out in the Rotorua district. The wet and windy weather doesn't stop the community enjoying the weekend's local festivals, and the Chiefs prepare to leave for Perth tomorrow. A new government healthy eating and anti-obesity initiative will be rolled out in the Rotorua district, and local MP Todd McLeay is calling on the city's health providers to register their interest in leading it. Healthy Families New Zealand is a new initiative that's supporting healthy living messages into schools, early childhood education centres, workplaces and sports clubs. Mr McLeay says Rotorua is one of 10 districts around New Zealand to have been selected to be part of this major new initiative. He says local health promoters need to register their interest if they want to be involved. For more information, contact Mr McLeay's office or visit health.govt.nz/healthy families. It's back to business for local rafting companies after the weekend's rain had a positive impact on local lake levels. The Regional Council formally limited rafting companies' operation hours last week due to concerns at low lake levels in Lake Rotowiti. Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Principal Engineering Surveyor Graham O'Rourke says Rotowiti is now back within normal consent conditions and rafting companies' hours will be extended. And the wet and windy weather didn't stop locals from heading to Rotorua's Pacific Islands Family Fun Day at the Village Green. Organiser Paya Napa'a says Saturday's event was the biggest turnout in the festival's 4-year history. Mr Napa'a says around 500 people attended the day that celebrated the culture of the Pacific Islands and featured traditional food, dance, song, arts and crafts. Next year, he says it's hoped for an even bigger turnout for the Family Fun Day. And the Rotorua Walking Festival was also in full swing at the weekend, with around 250 walkers taking part on both days. The festival was launched on Friday night at Council, where walkers from 70 countries joined locals in celebrating the 21st Rotorua Walking Festival.
One of the reasons the Rotary Club of Rotorua West originally set this up was to get people in the community walking, and walking is one of the things that most people can do, and also by bringing international people in and people from out of Rotorua, from Auckland and other places, has an economic benefit on Rotorua as well. So, but our international walkers come because they also like to meet our Rotorua people, and we've welcomed them here today with whakatau Pohiri, and it's great. We're welcoming them appropriately into Rotorua, and it's very, I guess it's significant we've had such good support from Rotorua people over such a long time.
In sport tonight, the Chiefs are 3 from 3 in the Avestec Super 15 rugby competition after beating the Stormers in Hamilton on Friday night. The game was also local chief Taniro Latimer's 100th cap.
Lads, you didn't want to talk about the 100th game during the week, you wanted to concentrate. It's in the bag now. When you look back, what does the 100th game mean to you?
I think how I remember this is, we took a step forward in our attack and our defence, and that's all I could have asked for really. Just the boys to step up and show a bit of Chiefs man, and that's what they do.
Your final try, you were prepping along nicely to the line, and Aaron Cruden came charging in and added his bulk. Do you think that was the difference that got you over the line?
Yeah, I'd have to say so, just because he's here. But, I've seen him just in front of me, and he was doing a lot of hard work, so I might pull that trick out of the game sometime soon.
How special was it to score that try?
Yeah,
it's a significant match for you.
Yeah, very special. Right on full time. Would have been more special if I had got the kick, but it wasn't to be.
Give the goal kicking away now?
No, I'll keep it because I'll back myself there. So.
He now won in his 50th for the Bay, so...
From the sideline, I might.
And the Chiefs leave for Perth tomorrow to ready their match against the Force on Sunday. To your weather update. Tonight will be fine with westerlies and an overnight low of 13. For tomorrow, Tuesday, long fine spells with light winds, a high of 24 and a low of 12. And the outlook for Wednesday, fine spells with the chance of a shower later, light winds, a high of 24 and a low of 13. And the marine weather for Tuesday, westerly 5 knots, northeast 10 knots during the afternoon, with waves less than half a metre, and it will be mainly fine. Remember, for program listings or to upload your videos, check out our website tv.rotorua.co.nz, and you can see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Coming up after the break, Kitty Danielle talks about mental health issues with health promoter Michael Naira, and we find out about the latest award win for Elite Tours. Alan Solomon talks with owner Trent Nielsen.
Kia ora. I'm here at the Runanga o Ngāti Pikiao Trust, and I'm with Michael Naira, who's going to be talking with me about a very sensitive issue, but one that nonetheless must be discussed: suicide and suicide prevention. And in the light of Miss Charlotte Dawson's death recently, it is something that is in the headlines, and we want to be talking about things that are affecting everybody. It affects everybody, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And suicide doesn't discriminate against anyone, whether you're of a different colour, different race, different shape or size. It doesn't discriminate. So wherever you are in the world, suicide affects everyone throughout the world.
What kind of headspace do people need to be in to be taking their own lives?
Oh, pretty much. The headspace that someone's usually in is of a depressed state. They see life as they look at themselves as being worthless, as being helpless. They have nothing to contribute to life, and so they consider suicide as a solution. As with us working in the field, we see suicide as a problem. But when you're stuck in that headspace, there's only one way that you may feel is a place to go, and that's to take your own life.
And is it about stopping the pain, or is it about punishing yourself? Is it about either of those things?
It's one of the things about it, and thanks for mentioning the pain, is that there's three things that people who are thinking about suicide have, and that's that I'm in pain, I want to end the pain, or I'm being a pain to others. So those are the three things.
So sometimes it can actually, you know, in a sadly twisted way, it can be a loving act.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Because you think you're just creating problems for everyone in your life, and
Yes.
they'd all be happier if you weren't there, and
Very
things
much
like
so,
that.
very much so, and it becomes an individual's concern, and when it becomes an individual's concern, the issues go around and around in their head about what to do, but it manifestates into negative thinking, which then becomes, you know, I need to exit the world because I am a problem to others.
In your experience, for those perhaps that have thought of suicide, is the idea of somewhere better or going to heaven or seeing someone that's died, are those ever things that come into it, or is it more about ending the pain and it's a dark place?
Well, the studies that have been done in universities, and they've interviewed cohorts that are attempted suicide, and usually it's around ending the pain. You know, I'm just being a total pain to others, and I just want out. And they say they don't mean to cause harm for the family because they're in that state of being. You know, it's nothing about the whānau, they just want to exit this world.
What would be your wish list if we were to, if you could go down and just click your fingers in Parliament, what would you want to see?
I think firstly that Facebook and Twitter are great for things like whakawhanaungatanga, building relationships, keeping in contact with whānau around the world. But when it comes to text bullying, I think there should be a law in place. I don't know what that looks like or what the legislation looks like to attempt to look at bullying and through the courts, through the justice system. And I think it needs to happen.
So put some very, very clear boundaries and consequences in place.
Yes, for sure, definitely.
Goodbye. Well, I'll give you the final word now. If you would like to just maybe have a kōrero to anybody out there that may be a wee bit depressed or even thinking about suicide, now is your time to reach out to the mea hoa.
Cool, thank you very much. All I'd like to say is that if you're thinking suicidal thoughts, you know, tell someone. If you're not comfortable with the people around you, you know, ring mental health services and say that you're thinking about these thoughts, and hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully, they sort the issues you do have out. So thank you.
Kia ora, Michael. Thank you very much, and we'll be back after the break with more. Kia ora, we're back now with Michael Naira at the Runanga o Ngāti Piki Trust, and we're talking about suicide and suicide prevention. Now, before we went to break, we did mention Charlotte Dawson, but there's also a rather beloved man in this country who has also taken his own life. Would you like to speak to that?
Yes, Te Kauhoi Wano was a TV presenter for Māori television, and he also took his life a year or two ago. And just like Charlotte Dawson, experienced a lot of issues in his life and decided to take his own life. So very concerning for us in the Māori world, but also knowing that Charlotte's also taken her life, it's also an issue for us, knowing that other celebrities are taking their life as well. So.
And because these people are in the public eye, it is, I would imagine, scary for you as suicide prevention workers that you're getting copycat type things happening. Would that be right?
Yeah, for sure. And celebrities, a lot of our people look at celebrities and idolise them, and so if a suicide occurs, then you find that it glorifies the act as being a real positive thing to do. So in a way, we try to limit the celebrities being publicised as having suicided. But for us, we want to look at the issues behind why they suicided, such as bullying on Facebook, on social media sites, texting and that, which a lot of youth are experiencing nowadays. So whether you're in the public eye or not, these certainly harm our community in a big way.
And what is the real danger with this internet, cybernet, texting bullying, aside from the fact that it's quiet and it's by itself, it's also quite insidious, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And what we used to do is in old times, you could just rock up to the schoolyard and bully someone face to face, but the new technology today allows you to bully without being face to face, and that's in my mind a criminal act that occurs, and that someone can get away with it. And I hope the government look at something to put in place for them.
And and even the face to face, it's not necessarily true identity to true identity, is it?
No.
It can be a troll, as they call them.
Yes, that's right, and that's right, because you can never get rid of the bully, but schools and communities around can put in programs in place to stop bullying, whether it be in the schoolyard or whether it be on text or social media sites, which I really encourage.
Well, I've got a nice positive spin from the very sad occurrence of Charlotte Dawson, because I was actually the victim of a troll online because of my journalism background and because of my public profile. And 2 days after Charlotte died, my troll came and said sorry to me.
Wow.
Said sorry.
Wow.
And said that they had never personally trolled Charlotte, but that they were sorry for having trolled me.
Wow.
So there is indeed, perhaps a silver lining for a very sad cloud, that maybe there's a few other trolls just thinking about what they're doing now.
That's amazing, and well done for doing that to the person who did put something nasty onto your Facebook site. But I think we as a country need to start looking at cyberbullying in a big way.
Wonderful. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Kitty.
much for your
Yeah,
time.
appreciate it.
Kia ora atu koutou, and we just want to back that up, that if you have any issues, that you do ring through to the likes of our friend here, and also contact your doctor. Kia ora.
Well, obviously tourism and hospitality is the main economic driver here in Rotorua, and the fruits of his labour has paid off for one tour operator here in town. And today I'm talking with Trent Nelson from Elite Ventures. Thanks for joining us today, Trent. Now, like I just said, the fruits of your labour have paid off, and just share with our audience back home this award that you've just won.
2011, and this gone year 2013, we managed to win the Australian Pacific Tour Operator of the Year. So, yeah, it's been great.
So obviously all that hard work has paid off, because that's quite prestigious, isn't it?
It is, yeah, amongst tourism circles. It's a very renowned award, and we have put the effort in, me and my offsiders, my colleagues. But it's just through consistency and making sure the service that we provide our customers here in Rotorua is number one.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because obviously being in journalism, we talk to lots of different people around town and in restaurants and in hotels, and sometimes we come across people who say that the service here in Rotorua is not so hot. Would you agree with a statement like that?
Yeah, I think in certain areas, being a seasonal town and having service people coming and going all the time, it is something that we should be aware of. We're one of the number one attractions here, and service is key. So I think it's something that should be addressed by the training of the staff. Even though they are moving on, it's imperative to the business that the staff understand how to treat customers.
Yeah. Well, just another point of why we're here to talk to you today, because you've taught tourism up at Wairiki. Do you think that course there is sufficient to help these young people that are coming through the industry?
It's a bit of a tough recipe up there, taking in multinationals, local, European and Māori. It is quite a tough recipe. I think that the drive up there is great, what they're trying to do up there. But yeah, I do feel that some of the on-job training is just as important as having a qualification.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. So would that be something that you could offer, maybe through your businesses? Offering time to these young people that are coming through our city and teaching them the way they should be serving.
Well, working at Wairiki there for a while, trying to recruit local young Māori and European into the industry, definitely. I do for mills, I take them out guiding. and just get them, to understand that, you're not with your friends, you're with a customer, and your approach and how you deal with them leads to awards.
Yeah. Well, speaking of awards, hospitality awards, they've just started a couple of years ago. Again, that has to be a good tick in the box, I guess, for people to achieve and to aspire for those things.
Oh, definitely. Having the qual mark as well, government standards, it just proves that you mean business. You've got all your things in place, you've got your insurances, your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted. And that's what it's all about, really, is, providing these customers with the number one, service, because it's our number one driver for Rotorua.
So when you got offered this award by the Australian Pacific Tours to Elite Adventures, what were the things that they looking for? What sort of categories were there?
Well, it was actually from their staff and from the customers, which makes it even a more excellent award in the sense that it's how we deal with their staff as well as their customers, which is two different types of service. But we were pretty blown away to get it, 2 years almost consecutively with the competition that's out there and some of the great product that New Zealand's got to offer. But it's nice that it's here in Rotorua.
Yeah.
We are the cultural capital. We've got some amazing natural wonders here, and we've got to show them off right.
Now, we're just coming to the end of the tourist season 2013-2014. How did your season go for Elite Adventures?
Yeah, it was a great year. We've seen a change after the recession. We've seen a lot more of the sort of top-end market and the backpacker market sort of coming back. But the volume of tourists that, we've seen in the early 2000s still haven't come back, but there's some good sort of signals for this coming season with a lot of pre-booking going on now. The strength of our dollar, of course, hasn't really helped, but it's making sure that your product's right on the top there when these people come to book, and that's what we aspire to do with Elite Adventures.
Yeah, well, obviously you have, because you won that award. What does that mean for your business?
Well, it's something that I can then take on to show agents, show people that book my product that we are a quality service, and we've proven it, year in, year out. So.
Yeah. Now, recently I've been talking to the Prime Minister John Key, and he said that we're going to try and get 2 million Chinese through our country in the next 5 years. Do you think Rotorua has the capacity to handle that sort of amount of people over that time?
I think if it's staggered properly, so we haven't got a huge congestion of people here in town, which can disrupt other people here for nature. Definitely, we've got the accommodation, but it's a matter of, which of course everyone wants to come during the peak season when the sun's out and it's a beautiful day like today, but it is one of those things that can be done but needs to be managed properly.
Of course. Well, Trent, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on your award.
Cheers.
And we'll see you next year maybe.
Thank you. Cheers.
And that was Alan Solomon talking with Trent Nielsen. If you have news to share, give us a call on 0734 88 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. And to watch the show again, just visit our website and click on latest news. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team at City News, for Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.